Okay, is it working now? I'm holding my mic. I didn't move my setup, but I've moved where I'm sitting cuz like I'm just chilling. I want to be comfy. You guys can hear everything's fine. No problems. If you guys hear me playing with the mic, it's cuz I'm like holding it, kind of like a mic. I'm doing like a little like literally just a little cute short just chatting. Might play a game and hook stuff back up, but I want to change. I want to see if the chat will work now. Oh, it's not working. It's not working. It didn't work. Whatever. Stop. Stop pretending you're Dana Mojo and whip out the GoPro and do a Spanish McDonald's mukbang because you're the Trisha Paytas, please. Okay. But I'm kind of hoping we're all chilling. I can't sleep. I have school in 8 hours, but it's only 2 classes, so we're chilling. It's borked because I think I fucked up the fucking chat. Let me wait. I borked it, okay. No, because why is it now like fucked? Did I bork it? Oh my god, I borked it again. How about this? No, we're doing a little chill. Cause okay, I've been wanting to do like a little podcast segment for like the longest time and just like talk. And so I think that's what I'm gonna do for this is like the first installment of it. Maybe I should tweet about it, or make an announcement. Um, Once a week, I will be doing a sort. Okay, I'm back at my PC now. A sort of podcast type stream, where I'll sit for maybe an hour to just talk, maybe have some people on. Be random if it's just me by myself. Friend or the guest. Least. Okay. Let me go and take my mic elsewhere again. I'm gonna go sit. I kind of want to sit in front of on my like little balcony area. So if it's too loud, you guys have got to let me know. I got to like give me a second. I'm gonna mute because I gotta move everything again, and I'll be unmuted because I also got to put on like some sweats and a hoodie because it's a little cold. So I'll be right back. Okay, you guys should be able to hear me, but I'm being quiet because my neighbor downstairs, like, pretty much apparently calls the police on literally, like, she already has when I had friends over. So, but you guys can hear me, right? Do you mean dew as in like Mountain Dew? Okay, Mountain Dew is good though. Like, you guys don't get it. Girl, it smells like fire. Who's on fire right now? I can't tell. Like, can you guys hear me well? It literally smells like fire, and there's like a broken down car that I think someone's sleeping in. I smell fire. Like, is this me? Am I on fire? Like, what's going on? It's a really strong. It's a really strong smell. Did I set something on fire? It's not coming from inside my apartment. So someone's lighting a fire somewhere, Mama. There were fireworks, so I guess it could be. And the music's too loud. I'm not removing the music, Borkers. I'll turn it down, but I'm not removing it. Is that better? Girl, I'm not putting on classical music. Fuck you. Girl, I'm not turning it all the way fucking down. I know it's not as loud as my voice. That I know. Let me listen to this shit. Okay. No, you're right. One more down. Okay, but I do gotta be quiet, so. This isn't creating the vibe I want. Girl, this is. I can hear it, bitch. Like, I can hear myself, Mama. I can monitor my stream. Oh, about my neighbor. let me let me not. Let's discuss something else. But I never said any of that. That's not true. I was gonna smoke, but I can't find a lighter. So so it smells like burning. Actually, don't know why it smells like burning. I think it's because there were fireworks earlier. I definitely heard fireworks. There were fireworks yesterday. But yeah, so this is our first little, I guess, podcast segment. See, I really need a lighter, but I also am unaware if I have a smoke alarm, so I don't want to test it. Porkers, you're low budget. You will never be Miss Piggy, okay? Never. Can't you literally see them? Well, yeah, but like, I can't see them. What if they're like somewhere else, you know? You guys want scenery, but I can't, like, I don't have a camera to like hook it up to. Also, no, because that would mean I'd have to dox myself. I'm not doing that. I'm not showing y'all my address. I don't need people coming up to my house. No, I think what I'm put a video on me, bitch. Y'all get this cute scenery. Y'all don't like the bathtub? I mean the hot tub. Hey, when I have the time and effort to do that, I will. I'm not at my PC, girl. I'm on my balcony. But yeah, I think there's somebody's. Okay, so I live like right next to like a car shop. And so there's a lot. So there's like, okay, so I live in like a house that's been made into apartments, right? And wait, if I hold it like this, we're good, right? Like there's nothing. I can hold it like this, right? Yeah, I can. Okay, great. But mama, girl behind you. But like, I'm trying to figure out a way to comfortably hold this mic because it's a Shure mic, right? So I'm holding it, but like I don't know where to fucking hold it. Like this shit uncomfy as fuck. Can I grab it by this? Imagine I'm just causing like an electrical fire. That's why it smells like smoke. But no, so I live like right next to. Oh, never mind. I think I know what's making it smell like smoke. I think there's a crackhead in one of the abandoned cars. So, like I was saying, I live next to like a repair shop, and well, Maribel was actually fucking outside where she doesn't live. Um, but like, you know, so I live next to like a repair shop, and so it's not necessarily a lot, but it's like a field, and so there's like a bunch of like not a bunch, but there's like what 6 cars, or like well, it's like the people who live in this area. Plus, like, then there's some cars that they use for like spare parts. And there's been this one car that's here. Okay, if y'all don't like the vibe, just fucking leave. I'm not putting that much fucking effort. I cannot sleep. Girl, look at the fucking hot tub, bitch. Or pull up a video and mute it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But I think he's like lighting it up in one of the cars. There's somebody, like, I see a lighter, and there's somebody in one of the like the abandoned cars that they're using for like spare parts. So they're either sleeping in that car and smoking it up. But, you know. Also, bitch, what fucking skyline do you expect in Valencia? Remember what? Y'all, this was last minute as fuck. Like, because I felt like doing it. Girl, I don't give a fuck about the city. There's fucking nearly, it's like just below 1 million people. Like, you're not gonna find me here. But essentially, like, I have classes in like 8 hours. But like, I live next to like a lot, right? And so there's like cars here, and I think they're staying in the car. Did they just? Okay, just. Okay. But mama, 2 guys just got out of the car. I think they were smoking it up, y'all. Okay. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But essentially, yeah, I live next to like a repair shop, and they're just chilling in this car. I'm guessing this is their like light up car, I guess, or something. I don't know. But yeah, not you being a girl. They were either fucking or lighting it up. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, no, one of the things that I wanted to do though is so I did order like a portable like XLR like recorder thingy, which means I can take this mic out and essentially just like plug it directly in and then go and like sit on the beach and talk, which is why I was potentially like I was debating doing that. And then you guys might get some scenery. Speaking for it, next time you just make a scenery a fire pit, please. Bitch, no. I'm like purposefully like gonna do the shittiest, grossest videos for you porkers. Like, I hope you know, like, just because of this, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be like the nastiest video of like a landfill. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to like talk about stuff and like, oh, my, I have my chat open and I just heard myself. That was gross. Um, but I basically like my mind right now isn't like a really girl. Just search it up on Google. Like I've heard it. It's been done. Um, but I just kind of wanted to like reflect on like I don't know. I feel like reflecting on shit all of a sudden because I've been here for what 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, and even though I miss London, like I miss it a lot. Um, I don't at the same time, and I've always like moved around a lot, right? So I've never been in one place at once. And sorry, I'm like hearing noises and I'm trying to be like, I don't know. I've been in like, I've moved around like a decent amount and I grew up going to like a school where like every now and then people would leave. And it gives you opportunities to meet like a lot of people and a lot of different people. And it's like great. And I wouldn't turn it down for anything. But at the same time, it's like the longevity of relationships are never consistent, if that makes sense. Like there's consistency in every few years you meet new people, but wait, not consistent longevity, but there's no longevity, right? And like I notice it whenever I move to a new place, is like I make friends really, really, really easily. Um, and like we go out, we have fun. It's like, like some of these people I will remember for like the rest of my life. I'm very careful trusting people though. So like I'm quite sociable and I can make friends and I meet them and we get along. But in terms of like trusting them with things, it takes me a minute to kind of let them in. And I'm very much the type of person like I will let somebody in and I let people in, I would say, even though I say I don't let them in easily, once I do, like I care for those people. Like those people become important to me. So like I guess in a sense, I guess it's kind of a flaw. Like I get attached in a sense, maybe when they don't, because it's like I'm not used to the longevity of it. So it's like in my mind, I think I see the relationship and I'm like, this is going to last 2 years. And then I try to like low key speed run it, I think, being like, okay, we're going to be really, really, really close. We're going to do all of these things and we're going to make all of these memories. And then, we're going to do this. And then I never think beyond like the second or third year. I'm like, okay, after this, they're going to be gone. Which, like, to an extent is my fault because also it's like while I'm here, right? I don't know if I'm going to do the full 4 years or I'm going to transfer. The plan is to transfer, but I could always make the decision and stay for the full 4 years. And I find that like a really hard decision to make because, like, again, time back to relationships, it's like I then also have the fear of if I stay longer, what if I fuck up the relationships? Like, what if I choose to make that decision because I'm making it now because I have to make it, I think, in January. I have to make like the final if I'm going to go or not. And it's like, I don't have enough time with these people to truly understand them and be like, okay, these are my people. I feel like every time I make friends, I'm scared that like I only have 2 years left, but I'm also scared that, you know, they're going to become my people and then we're just never going to see each other again. Which, like, I know is like a really shitty way of thinking about relationships and stuff like that, but it's like, to be quite honest, I've never had the privilege of having stable relationships. I don't think. And like, this is going to sound really, really sad. Like, this is going to sound awful, but like, trust me, like, well, I'm not fine, but I'm fine. But it's like, there's a feeling of, I don't know. I don't know my value, I guess, or my worth because of the lack of loyalty I have received from. Sorry, someone else just stepped into that car. Yeah, but the problem is, Robbie, like, realistically, moving across the world, even if they're your people, you don't get to see them. And my problem is like, I know they'll be my, probably, like, I have friends in, some of the people who I know are like, you know, that's my person, live across the fucking world. I trust them with everything. They know everything about me. They know all of my insecurities. They know all of my, like, everything. But they're across the world. And I want to be able to spend time with them. So, like, that's the part that, like, I don't like, especially, like, because there are definitely people I've met who are my people, but I don't live with them anymore. I don't live around them. I don't live close to them. Not everybody has the money to visit me. I can visit them every now and then, but it's like, most people, right, are able to go home. They're able to go back to, not everyone, but a lot of people are able to go back to like their mom or their dad. And they have that like as a support system. I, however much, really, 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 I would say still crave, but I think I'm more at peace with not having that anymore, with at least like my parents, is like, I crave that. I crave like a home to go back to, because it's like, I guess personally, since you're friends online, I've never felt that. The thing is, like, I've met friends online and offline, but it's like I do crave the physical part of being with people because it's a whole different experience. Online friendships are great, and I've made some of my, again, like I have two of my people I have met online, and I love them dearly, but we met in person and already it felt different. It was like, oh, these are them. Like, again, like I these are forever. But it's like now all of us live in completely different places. We don't see one another. You know, I'm able to kind of come visit them if I need to. But it's like I personally, because I crave that kind of like, I've always wanted to, like, have a place to kind of go home to. I make that home with the people I meet in person. Like those, like my friends, even though, people are like friends or, family and friends are different to me, my friends become my family. And I know that sounds corny and cheesy as fuck, but it's like, because I never felt safe at home, I created safe spaces and I created those spaces with my friends. So growing up, like I look at it and it's a pattern. I see it and I look at the friends that I had, and those people were like my world. Like those people were like my ride or dies. Like I was not going to let anything bad happen to them. I, you know, always have their back, always keep it real, always be honest with them. It's kind of like you don't feel like you have a permanent place to be yourself. I guess that's true. Yeah. Because everywhere I go, I'm constantly having to like gauge and meet new people. Like, and I have to gauge the way I approach getting to know these new people because everyone's different, right? I want to make sure that it's not that I'm like coming off as a different person to everyone. No, but it's like I know for some people, they're going to be more comfortable in different situations. So it's like it's meeting new people over and over and over again and not letting those walls down immediately. Because to be honest, if I did that, which I kind of still do a little bit too much, is I let people in a little too quick. Um, I know I struggle with that because then, like, ultimately, I do end up getting hurt by a lot of people I consider close. And I know that's also like a flaw of mine. Like, they don't necessarily see me the way that I see them. But it's like one of the things that I think I've noticed as well over the few years that I've been on like the Twitch side of things. I know how social media can be. I know how this all works. But I do have to say Twitch is more of like a, or at least where I've been exposed to on Twitch, or my exposure on Twitch is quite minuscule, to be honest, I think, over the past, like with this channel and everything. But there's a lot of people that like I personally put trust into that I 100% shouldn't have. And I 100% regret it. Yeah. I think there are people who they put out a front, which I know everyone puts out a front eventually, but it's like they put out an overtly fake front. And the worst part with Twitch is like, even though I understand that it's a business and I'm starting to treat it more like that, but it's like I'm also very social. And there were certain people who very much offer themselves as honest people and friends. And first and foremost, it didn't feel like a transaction or it didn't feel transactional or like a business. It feels like they're offering themselves as friends and as people you can trust. And ultimately, over the past 3 years, we've seen people come and go. Um, and I have put my trust in people that I 100% shouldn't have put my trust into. Because to be quite honest, I'm fully fine with not having to have streaming as my full time. I can go and live my life, and I have more than enough time to figure out all of my shit that this isn't, has never been make it or break it. I'm doing just fine, thank you, without Twitch. So I think I saw it as more of like, this is a great way to do a hobby, make money off of it as well, and meet some really, really cool fucking people. But I understand that that's not the way everyone thinks. And to some people, it was all about the money and it was all about the success. Um, it was about the notoriety, the name, and cool. But I'm hoping these people eventually, over time, reflect on how they treat people, because I will say there's a lot of exclusivity, and to be quite fucking honest, and we've constantly made fun of this, but like Mean Girl RP, or whatever, that thing that's kind of been pushed on, but it's not even Mean Girl RP, mama. It's out of character. The judgment that these people hold, especially being part of the queer community, is astounding. It's insane. I don't see how. And the worst part is, it's like it's pretty apparent because it's the white gays too. And there's a lack of awareness and a lack of accountability. And it's like, it's really interesting to kind of like, I've now like fully basically removed myself from RP. I've taken a step back. I've stopped streaming. I don't stream on a schedule anymore. I don't have as many people watching. I'm streaming when I feel like streaming. I have a life. I'm Oh wow. What's like what's a thingy of birds, when they fly in like a formation? Is it a flock? A flock, right? Well, whatever it's called, like a full one just flew over. They're going towards the sea. That's fucking, but like, see, like I've moved to Spain and I live by the sea and it's not cold, but it's like warm. There's a breeze. It's October 7th. It smells like flames in the ocean. I am getting sun. It's not raining 24/7. Like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm 20 years old and I think moving was a really good decision. Like, even though I did love London and I do miss it, but like, it's just not worth. Like, I now live in like a bigger apartment for like a third of the price with basically the same amenities. Hi, Layla. I'm doing like a little, I can't sleep. Just kind of like, I'm going to do like a weekly segment where I just sit on my balcony and talk. But like the reflection, like, and I try to reflect as much as I can on myself. And I definitely, over the past 3 years, have not been completely fine. I have struggled and I like mentally have not been in the best of spaces. But like I'm slowly starting to like fit pieces together. And I do have to say, I really hope that the people that I have met over Twitch over the past 3 years reflect and look at themselves and go, fuck, like this is the way I treated people. And this goes for me too. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like, I've been the nicest fucking person. Spicy Barbie, who just like Layla, who's just got here, she's known me for, you've known me for 3 years now, I think. 3? Oh, it's been more than 3 now. 3.5 years? Wait, I'm trying to think. It's been 2.5 years. It's been 2.5 years, I think. And she's seen me. I think you've seen me the change the most out of like everyone I know, kind of in this kind of RP space, from kind of like not being aware of, I don't know, in general, because like I've been very open about this. I have never been part of any sort of queer spaces or queer populated spaces, like of a majority. So online was like where I found that. And like me being snarky or me being able to read a bitch back, I was not able to read. If Layla, if you're still here, you had like, I could not read a bitch. Like I was not good at it. I couldn't, like, I was not witty with it. I was not quick with it. I just didn't, and I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten quicker. 2 years is a lot. I've learned a lot as well. And I've learned how to treat people who, well, no, I like, I'm not saying that my way of treating, but like just the way I approach things is also very, very, very different. Just because I'm sorry, like people don't put themselves, there's a lot of, I will literally, no, like there's a lot of fakeness. They're not themselves. And we see that constantly with the amount of people, especially on this platform, getting outed, like not as gay, but like being outed as like horrible people. Like the amount of people who get outed as horrible people in such a small small space is honestly quite astounding. Like it's quite concerning. And I don't know. It's interesting that this is the norm, because I've spoken to a good number of people in the RP space, outside of the RP space, um, on Twitch, when talking to them and asking about their relationships on Twitch. And I get the answer of, no, this is, this is the industry standard or whatever. This is, this is what social media is as a job. First of all, I want to correct you. It's not what social media as a whole is. It's Twitch. I will say on other platforms, they're a lot more transparent. Speaking from experience, they're a lot more transparent that it's a business transaction. They're not they're not coming under the fake gauge of trying to be friends with you. There are people who are like that, but they get iced out very, very quickly. And you see those people only interact with those same kinds of people in those spaces. And you can tell. You see them and they get iced out. They get pretty much, people do not like them. They, get your bag and all of that, but they burn bridges. The weird part about Twitch is I've noticed that doesn't burn a bridge. People tolerate that. And I don't like that. I, and however much people want to say it's, oh, well, he's fell off, so he's just jealous. I still, even if I kept the viewership that I had and was streaming consistently and didn't take a 6-month break, I don't think I would be in the same circles. I think I would have tried to remove myself or been honest, or I would have stopped streaming. Because for me, and I know this is like, I am lucky to be able to say, like, this isn't everything. Yeah, on Twitch, there's like no repercussions. Like, because it's quite niche, I would say. But it's like, it sucks to see people who you think you've become friends with, or people you value and respect, either take off kind of a mask and become someone you're like, oh, I don't know this person. I don't know if I like this person. Or they start to become something else. And I don't know which one it is. And I'm not going to sit here and like let people speculate. This isn't one specific person. This is a lot of people that I've interacted with over 3 years. And it's really sad because there are people that, at least I hope they, care about me as much as, I care about them. But like, I see people be and get extremely self-conscious and beat themselves up over people not liking them or people not including them, and people keeping their distance, yet then whenever it benefits them, they go back to those people and they're like, oh no, but I love you, like, I care about you, and like, You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, like I've been so bad, like my thing, and I understand sometimes it's harder for certain people to keep in touch with others, or, people kind of get caught up in what they're doing, and that is valid. But I don't like that being kind of like an excuse. I think in those situations it should be like, oh, I've been a shit person, like, or like, I have been really shitty. I'm sorry. No excuse. If I do it again, call me out on it, or I'm really going to try not to. And in my opinion, over time, if that's a behavior that you keep exhibiting, it's like I have my things, and I've spoken to my friends about this. I'm very quick to leave. Um, I'm very quick to give up because I am scared I'm going to get hurt. So sometimes I'll try solving it because I'm like, okay, this is worth solving it, right? But there's certain times where I'm like, I can't, because I'm going to get hurt, or I think I'm going to get hurt. I'm just going to cut my losses, be sad about it for a little bit, maybe be a little bit bitter, you know, not the best traits, but quit it early. Like, which is a pattern, and I am trying to stop because I do it with my relationships, not just friendships, but I do it with I did it with my ex-boyfriend, and I said it was because I didn't want to move. And then a few months later, I moved to another country. And I really, like, I loved him. I still love him. But I've, I think it was the right person. I wouldn't say wrong time. Ugh, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I'm very, I try to kind of protect my peace because, and this is going to sound really sad, but I've always looked out for myself, which might sound selfish, but it's because I've never had people, or I have, I can't say I've never had, but let me say I grew up not having people there to protect me. So it's like the easiest way for me to not get hurt and protect myself is to walk away. And like that sounds really, really sad. I'm just like, I'm whispering, so I'm okay. Like, this has been talked about with a therapist. Like, we're chilling. But it's one of those things that it's like, it really fucking sucks because I know by doing that, I am also potentially hurting somebody else in the process, hurting myself, because it's not as if I don't get hurt. When I cut people off, I still hurt. And then, to a few people, I'll rant and I'll talk my shit for a little bit and go, like, fuck this person, like, fuck them. But I'm still hurt. And I think the anger comes from me being hurt because I have now potentially hurt somebody else. Yeah, I'd rather do it on my own terms. And I've done it with, not recently, but like a little while back, I did it with a friend group who I look back at it now, that this is going to make me a little sad. But I had a disagreement with one person, and I'm a stubborn, I'm fucking stubborn, okay?
I am so fucking stubborn that it sucks. And I did it with a friend group who I did feel really welcomed with. And I think there were some things that did bother me, but I just never brought them up because I was scared that it was going to cause a problem, which should have, that's on me. That is not on those people. That was fully on me. Because there were times that I didn't feel heard, yes, but I should have voiced that. There was one of those things that we as a group talked about was, we talk about these things. Let's bring it to attention. And it sucks because I had a disagreement with somebody else who's also really fucking stubborn, who I respect the shit out of. And still with an argument, I'm gonna stand on business. I said what I said, and I still do believe what I said was the truth. But I can, I'll agree to disagree. But also, at this point, it's been so long that, honestly, I wouldn't care about even being I was wrong. It's 100% on me. And I I essentially lost an entire group because I was too stubborn to talk to this person or talk it out. And then something happened and there was a message sent. And I don't know if the person saw it this way, but I did. I had pretty much raised or talked about it with this group where somebody from one of my previous groups or whatever had sent me a message in a weird formal format, right? It was weird. It was just a weird way of sending a message to somebody at some point that you were friends with. And I raised this to this group and they were like, "Oh yeah, that is really fucking weird. That's fucking weird." And I still think it's fucking weird from that one person. But then with the recent group, I don't know if the person saw it this way, but I kind of did. It felt a little formal, and it was something so stupid. It definitely, I would say this is on me for kind of taking it, but it still, I think, to me, I look at it and I still think it was a little weird with the recent group, with the recent thing as well. I saw it away and I don't know if they noticed, and I don't think they meant to make it come across that way. I don't think. If they did, well, then yeah, fully do think that's weird. But if I have a feeling that it wasn't meant that way, but it felt weird, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just kind of disappear. And so I did that. But by doing that, I cut off a whole group. And I barely talk to anyone in that group. I talk to one person every now and then when we get the time. But you anticipate the future hurt, so you'd rather get it over into, oh, I already, yeah. And this group, I'm not gonna lie, this one, talking about it now, and yeah, I really fucked up with this one because I respect the shit out of a lot of them, and they were very much they kept it real. It was very much weirdly felt like a bunch of siblings, and it was again a group of queer people. And this sounds such pick me energy, but I didn't have queer friends growing up. I don't necessarily surround myself with queer people. I'm not on purpose, but it's I also, whenever I feel like I have less of good experiences than bad. Wait, no, yeah, I have less of the good experiences where it was I saw this and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get hurt again. This is one of the best experiences I've had. Let me ruin it. which like looking at that is so sad. Who the fuck thinks like that? Me, obviously, but like I see that and I'm like, fuck. These were people who I think I'm being too loud, but these were people that like I truly cared about. And I fucked it up because I was like, you know what? It's kind of hard to put yourself out there when all you've known is being hurt. Well, I guess to an extent. And that, like, that's a part that, like, yeah. But that's also, like, I think that's my own fault because then, right, because I anticipate that I'm going to get hurt by a group of people, I cut them off, in turn, hurting myself and then expecting it the next time again. So I've created a cycle with and I'm the pattern. I am fully the pattern. I am aware that I'm a huge part of this problem. And it fucking sucks. And I'm really trying hard to like not ever be like affected by it. But it's so hard not to. It's so fucking hard. Because then it's like I see it and I'm like, I'm 20. So much has happened. So much has happened. And this is like one of the, it's kind of one of those things that won't get better until you risk it. But like at the same time, if you risk it and it goes bad, then it only reinforces it. Exactly. And it's like already, like I have made friends at school and they're really, really fucking fun. But already one of the worst parts about like also not being around queer people is there are certain things that they will say that they don't think is going to strike a nerve or hurt or anything, but we were out and we were clubbing, and this sounds like such a stupid thing to like kind of put a little bit of a damper on my evening, but we were at a club and it's a really, really cool club. It was like outdoor because it's warm here, and it really, 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 really fucking cool and really fun. And we were drinking, all having fun. And there were like people putting like glitter on people's faces. And so we all were doing it. And we thought it was like, we were just having a fun time. Hi, potato. And hi, Minnie. Hi, Will. And one of the guys turns around to like one of the other guys and he says, like, this sounds so stupid for me to like it kind of did put a damper on my evening though, but like he turned to one of the guys and he said, I don't look fucking gay, do I? And it was such like a weird kind of like, I was like, oh, damn. Forgot that that's like, that's a bad thing. My bad. You know? So it's like every time, and that, like, I don't know what it was, but like we were having so much fun. And that, like, for a little bit, like I got, we took shots and I kind of forgot about it. But like that being said, when it was said, and he like turned to one of the guys, he said, "I don't look fucking gay." And we were putting glitter on our faces at a fucking club. And it was such like and I've had this conversation. Sorry, this is like I go on tangents. I just fucking talk and then I just talk about random shit. But I it like reinforces a thing is like when people say like, you know, being gay is just the same as like being straight or whatever, you know, like love is love, that type of thing. We also do need to acknowledge that it's not the same because they don't go through the same thing. You will grow up having friends, and I was outed um in middle school. I know that doesn't seem like a, you know, it's like, oh, middle schoolers, like what the fuck, but like by one of my best friends. And I don't necessarily blame her because we were in fucking middle school. Like this was, I'm not even kidding, this was fucking 6th grade, okay? 6th grade. But all of the guy friends, all of my guy friends, except one or except two or three, all of them, we were not friends. The friendship was completely different. We were not, you know, like best friends anymore. We were no longer hanging out. And there were maybe two or three, one in particular, who are like the other two, the friendship kind of changed. Well, the third one, he wasn't like, I became friends with him through the second person, but the second person, the relationship was different. But there was one who our friendship stayed the exact same. There was nothing different. That was like the first time I was like friends with somebody, and it didn't seem like I was different because realistically, every other person I talk to, in the back of their head, the fact that I like a guy does make me different. They do not see me as they see everybody else. Like it may not be like it's like an unconscious bias, but it's still there. There's the thought is there. I am not the same to them. I will never be the same to them. And like it's like that for me as well. Is like I had this one queer group who I had the best experience with and cared for, and I went and fucked it up. Sorry, I'm just like listening for something real quick. I thought I heard something. So like I don't know. So like that's like if I'm talking about like because I do like cut my losses quick, like I've said, like that's something that I've done. That is one that I like regret insanely. That is a group I fully regret being as stubborn as I am with. And I really, really, really fucking regret it. And you know, there's a sliver of hope that like, you know, maybe one of them will watch this VOD or, you know, one of them will, you know, but at the same time, it's like it gets to that point that even though I regret it, I'm too pussy to reach back out to those people. I won't do it. And it fucking sucks because I ruin these things for myself. And then it just, that's like one of those things that I think about that like, but like I have closure with it, I think. Like I regret it, but there's still closure for me. Okay, people keep coming in and out of this car. I can't tell if they're like, are they fucking? Like, is this like a fucking? Should I download Scruffy? see, see if there's anything, or what's that one app where they do like the glory holes? What's one of the gays? Declivity, you'll know. Hi, Sarah. But like, I don't know. But I will say, like moving here, like even though that to me, I was like, damn, like that fucking sucks. That like that was that person's concern was like if they look too fucking gay. And however much that like sucks, I'll get over it. And it's just going to be like that's the reality of it. Like I just have to come to terms with that cuz that's like everybody like no matter what, that is the way they're going to see it. They're not going to see you as the same because we're not. We are queer. We're different. We are not the norm. Yes, it's not a choice. It's, like, and I understand people have it so much worse. And this isn't me trying to play like the oppression Olympics or anything, but it's like, it's such a small I would say compared to others, even though I guess that's comparing things that can't necessarily be compared, but like it's not. I don't know. It's interesting because I grew up in like Eastern Europe and there weren't many queer spaces. And I was the token gay in my friend group. And, you know, that came with me not being the nicest to certain people. And I will say in high school, I don't think I was necessarily a bully because I was very much, I would say I was a floater friend, except like my main friend group was like, I would say we were considered the popular group, even though like when talking to the other groups and after having certain conversations, they were like, well, nobody liked you guys. And I was like, nobody ever likes the fucking popular group, but they're the ones going out and doing stuff and you get what I mean. And I'm not trying to like toot my own horn and be like, that was high school. Like, I'm not proud of, I'm not like, oh, that's my, like, I peaked in high school. Like, look at this shit. But like, there are a few of us part of that friend group that I now see we are no longer friends with some of those people from those friend groups. There's a big part of those friend groups that are all still friends. But we're like I would say the people who made that group more diverse left and are no longer friends with those people anymore. And well, with my best friends, it's been well. Our friendships have not changed. When I have told them I'm bi, I'm a man, say it made us closer, which I think is great. And I like, but they're still, it doesn't, I'm not necessarily saying that they see you in a worse way, but they do see you differently, if that makes sense. Because in a sense, you are different. You're, you know, there is a part of you that, I don't know, maybe for, I, it might not be everyone, but there's a lot, at least, okay, I'm not going to say everyone, but there's a lot of people who are going to see you differently, not necessarily in a bad way or a good way. It's like a neutral. It doesn't, I'm not saying it's a negative connotation, but they're going to see, like, there is going to be a difference with a majority of people. There is like that one person who I'm no longer in touch with. Like we stopped. Like we never really talked beyond. There was a point just because he was friends with some guys that I didn't like. So eventually it did, it changed because of the other guys. But I think we were still very good friends until I moved. And then he moved and, I think he lives in the UK now. And I should probably reach out and say like, hey, like if you ever come to Spain, let me know. But I well, it's not weird. I think it's I don't know, you get closer and you understand. What if this is friends to lovers? Well, what if you guys are and they were roommates? I'm kidding. Um, but there's I don't know, there's just like I think to an extent the more I think about it and the more I unpack things and like the more conversations I have about it and the more I think about it, I don't know if I'm 100% comfortable with the fact that I'm gay. Or I don't know if it's the fact that I'm gay or I'm not secure enough with myself yet. Because I know that there's a clear need for validation. I do crave validation. And I think the I have a lot of time, and everyone keeps saying, you're 20, you have so much time, but it's like I don't want time. I want to feel secure. I want to feel, and I know it takes time, but it's like I want these things now. I'm impatient. I don't want to have to wait. I like I don't know. It's like it's I know I'm just yapping, I guess, but like this is what this is gonna be for. I think I'll do like potentially 30 more minutes of this and then I have to go to sleep because I'll only get like 5 hours of sleep. But I give me a second. I'm checking the class group chat to see if we had anything. Okay, no homework. We're good. And Will, that's okay. You're doing it with on your own terms. I never really did that. I got outed when I first thought I was, and I 100% was not comfortable with being gay when I was younger. I was scared. Um, I really didn't want to be. Like, I was terrified. Um, you don't exist, and I can't recall the last time I was kissed. Mm-mm-mm. Um, Not you forgetting your age, please. But like, I I also like the more I think about it, and this is something that I haven't like really talked about at all with anyone. This isn't like anything bad or anything. And there is somebody I do want to talk to about it, but again, this is like somebody I have given chances to because also with my friendships, if you're not putting in the same effort I am, I'm going to stop putting in effort. I don't care. If we've had conversations about it, I'm not just going to drop you out of nowhere, but if we've spoken about you not reaching out to me or I start reaching out less and notice that you're not reaching out, period, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to have to feel like I'm chasing my friends in order to talk to them. But I will say, um, oh my God, where was my train of thought? What was I saying? Oh my God, can someone remind me what I was saying? Oh, something I've never spoken about before. I don't know if this is. So I've kind of breached this subject, but partially with a few friends. Um, and it's like a conversation about like gender. I don't know if I'm confused about my identity. Um, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if I'm confused about my identity or I'm envious of women. But then because I look for the longest time when I was younger, because of all of my friends were girls, I compared myself to girls. And because majority, guys and what I was growing up around, straight and heteronormative society is men like women. So I want to be like the women. And the more I like breach it, I don't think I notice, I guess I am bothered when I get called she, because I do sometimes get called she, because I used to have like longer hair and I've been told I sound pretty feminine. I know I sound raspy, but it's because I don't have any water. Plus, it's late and I'm like being quiet. But I've been told I sound quite feminine. I don't know. Y'all can say no, like whatever. But I've been told that by men. So it's like I, and then I've been told I look feminine, and I don't mind looking feminine. I like looking feminine. I wish I looked more feminine, but I don't necessarily know if I want to be a woman or not. I don't think I do, But there's also like a part where I'm like, but I don't think I do because I think I'm envious of women. Because they get to look feminine and not get judged for it. If them, well, they do get judged for it, but like there's, I guess that's what is expected of them. And which is like another problem in itself. But like, I don't know, I like that. But then I also look at like pictures of some masculine men or whatever, and it's like they still like either they have like a small waist, but they've got like chiseled muscles, or like, like not necessarily that they're buff, but they're like lean. So they're like, they're still skinny, but they're fit. And it's like, I also want to look like that. So it's like, I guess I want to look like super, like I like the idea of looking feminine in the face, but then my body being like that, but still being feminine looking. What you guys are finding out is I'm just fucking confused. But also, I don't think I would mind like they, them pronouns. Like, I don't mind that kind of like, that doesn't bother me. I think she pronouns do bother me though. Mind you, you guys are literally hearing me like put this into words. So like I have not, like this has not been something I have really discussed. So I'm just kind of talking about it, and this is like a first. But yeah. Okay, Robbie, we can't be calling it a phase, mama. That is counterproductive. Not Robbie saying it's a phase. Do we have a mod in here? Can you pin that? How do I pin it on the phone? How do I pin a message? In my mind, you die. Not a single word. No, I know. Somebody pin that. Someone pin him saying it's a phase. I can't pin it. I don't know how to do it on my phone. Not on my phone. But like, I think all my mods are betching. But yeah, so like that I think that's just me being like confused. But so essentially I'm just like confused. But I don't think I want, it's not like it's because it's not a choice. And like I don't think I am. Or like I don't think I like she, her pronouns. I don't think I like them. And I know that's like not like a bigot to, like, I don't know. Because it's like I like being acknowledged as feminine, but I'm still a man. I heard something. I don't know what I heard, but also there is like a conversation I do want to have. Oh my god, what was the conversation about? No, my train of thought, and I didn't even start it, so I can't even ask you guys what I started with. We're talking about gender identity. I was talking about I like to be perceived as feminine. Oh my god. relationships, the type of men I attract. I am so over. I'm so over meeting guys who say they visibly find me attractive. And I understand I understand everyone comes to terms with their sexuality in their own time, etc. They flirt, they say they're attracted, or they find me attractive. But then there's the whole conversation where it's like, I wish you were a girl. Or they don't want to be, they're not open to a relationship. And I know there's people who are like, what's it, heteroromantic and whatever it's called. Like, I kind of believe when I was first getting okay with my sexuality, I wanted to be, I think for me, it was kind of like thinking of all things I like wanted or to be were considered feminine. So I warped my perception. Yeah. So like I guess for me, it's like I am envious of women. I think that's where like that confusion comes from, is because I'm envious, girl. I want my relationship with a man to seem normal, but it won't be. And that goes back to that conversation of people will not see me that way. They will see us as different. While as when a woman is with a man, no one bats an eye. You know what I mean? But it's like there's a lot of conversations I have where it's like I have conversations with men or like people who I have either met, and this is goes with people I've met online and in person, who say they find me attractive or they flirt, and then the conversation gets to a point where like we talk, and like of course, you know, like I find them attractive. They obviously have said they find me attractive, but then the conversation shifts to like they wish I was a woman, or they're like, you know, but I wouldn't date a man, you know, like I'm maybe at most like a femboy. But then I'm like, I'm not a femboy. I don't dress like a femboy. I like that's a whole separate thing that I would not consider myself part of that group. Nothing wrong with that group. That's not, but I don't consider myself part of that. And it's really frustrating because it seems like there's like an expectation for me to then look a certain way already. And then within the gay community already, the standard is actually fucking insane. And also, I would say on a majority scale, it's a lot of like mask for mask, or they want you to look super feminine, not super feminine, super masculine, or they want you to be more masculine presenting. I have noticed, and I'm not trying to say like femme gays have it super, super fucking hard, but I do notice that there is in media, the way gay people are paraded around, or our representation low key is femme gays. Like gay people are represented by femme gays, whether that's good representation or bad representation. Either we're being ridiculed, or that's just like the gay person is like that feminine gay, like, yes, girl, like that type of gay, right? And that's the representation we get. But then within the community as well, femme gays aren't necessarily liked. I will also say white gays don't make it fucking easy, and white gays are fucking horrid, because then oh, there's just like a whole extra part of that that's really fucking annoying, because I find it frustrating that like I don't know. Like, I like that I am more feminine, and I understand, like, I have an understanding that I am a more feminine gay man. But there's also times where, like, I kind of like wish I wasn't, because, like, my voice as well, girl, I sound like a fucking, like, I don't have my beat button, but y'all know what I want to say. Like, I can't help it. It's just kind of the way my voice sounds. And anytime I fucking speak or anything, all of a sudden there's like a conversation around it. It's not necessarily good or bad, but it's like, I would say majority kind of bad, where it's like, oh, like he sounds like a, in gaming especially, I think, since like a majority of our stuff is like they could just hear your voice, they can't see you. But it's like, girl, I sound really gay. Like I can't help it. And it's really like there's a whole like I don't know. I feel like femme gays, there's like such an expectation. It's like you have to be super, 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 super skinny and super, super, super feminine. You can't like you have to be more feminine. Like there isn't really like you're either masculine and like kind of skinny, right? Or you're masculine looking and but skinny, or you're feminine looking and skinny. There's no like not really an in between. Um, the expectation as well is because I guess a lot of the times people or gay men are looking for more like there's the whole mask for mask thing, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But then a lot of the times it's like I don't know like what niche am I attracting? And I've not struggled in like I guess my dating, but at the same time it's also like when I am pursuing somebody or whatever, it's like a majority of the times and with like my dating life, there's a pattern. I majorly have been with, well, my two relationships were with bisexual men. They were more masculine. I prefer a more masculine presenting guy. I do also find some feminine men attractive. I do. But like in terms of like their energy, I guess I prefer somebody a little bit more, not necessarily like dominant, like, yeah. And this isn't no, like, none of this is sexual. I'm not going to discuss that. Well, we'll get into that maybe on another episode. But like, I, there's an expectation already for me as a femme gay man, especially by the men that I find attractive, at least as a whole. I know there's people like there's like outliers, but I mean like in general, there's an expectation for me to be fucking smooth, me looking super feminine, me being super skinny, me, like I'm expected to be essentially just like a woman, but like a man. So it's like there's oh, but like there's a whole like I don't know because it's like when I do date the guys and also the guys who I have dated, so my ex-boyfriend, even though I did say like I hate the guys who are like, I've never dated a guy or whatever, my ex-boyfriend was one of those guys. But mind you, he pursued me and had been telling me that had been telling my friends that he found me attractive. That was a different thing. We've known each other for years. Like we were friends before we dated. But I'm part of like an incest friend group, mama. I don't know if I can say that word, damn, but like y'all know what I mean. Like everyone's dated within that friend group and we're all still friends. But um very much like the guys that I have dated or like had those types of things, it's like they're not part of necessarily queer spaces and they're not part of that. And there's not that they don't have that weird underlying like those weird underlying expectations that I weirdly think that it is part of like people who are part of these queer communities have because they're not attached to that. So a lot of the times when they are bisexual, they're not necessarily like it's not they don't consider it like a super important part of themselves. And I'm not saying that gay people make it their personality. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I personally, like, me being gay is a bigger part of my identity than it isn't, if that makes sense. Because to them being bisexual literally means fucking bullshit to them. Like, it doesn't mean shit to them, right? Like, they don't give a fuck. But to me, and I think it's because there is no way for me in a way to hide it, because I sound the way I do. So I guess it's because I'm clockable. Like, that I've kind of made it, it's kind of like a shield. Like, I've given it, it has a bigger, like, it has a bigger piece of the pie of my like identity, right? While as for them being bisexual is literally like, or whatever, the guys that I, at least from my experience, the guys that I have been with, um, or dated, that was like it literally meant fucking nothing to them. Like, they were just bi. Mind you, my two most recent exes, I'm the first guy they've both dated. Oh, both really good boyfriends though. Like, it wasn't anything weird. Nothing ever weird happened. They actually made me feel so much more comfortable with myself than I ever have felt. They were great boyfriends, and I'm in touch with both of them. I'm friends with both of them. The one before, like the previous one, the most recent one, I'm in touch with. We've been friends for ages. The one before, we, check in every now and then, but like, we're not like besties or like, but I, there's an interesting, I don't know. I think there's an interesting difference between like, and the thing is, it's not that I don't find, like, I do find gay men attractive, but I think as a whole, I don't mean like as a literal whole. I mean like overall. Um, I know some gay person's gonna make a joke, but especially in my chat. But I I think it's interesting acknowledging that there is a difference, because weirdly it takes more of a precedent in people's identities, especially when they are, or from my experience, people I've met who are just gay. And then there's the expectations that lie on top of that, and the expectations that I have. And weirdly, I have not seen those. There's still expectations from those bi men for me to be more feminine looking and etc. But there isn't like a them being bi, like, it's part of their identity, but it's not, like, it literally isn't significant. I don't know how else to phrase that, and I don't know if I'm phrasing it correctly or saying it or it's coming out the way I want it to, but like, they're them, and then they just fuck women and men. Well, as for me, like, gay is part of more of my identity, and I think there's, I guess they haven't breached that, like, where it's part of their culture, or like they haven't immersed themselves in the culture, I guess. Well, it's still like, yes, but I feel like also they haven't necessarily needed to find a place to feel welcome, because they're conforming enough. And this isn't meant to be like by erasure. Like, I think they are more than welcome in our spaces, but I don't think they've felt a lot. I'm not saying all, this isn't for all, but I think some of the ones that I've had experiences with haven't felt the need to, because they haven't been ousted, or I guess some of the experiences, I guess this is another thing that I don't know because I'm not bisexual, but I guess like the bi erasure and like they may not feel welcome in those gay spaces or really the straight spaces, but they tend to prefer the straight spaces. Well, they're not necessarily accepted in both spaces. I think we can't like bi erasure is a thing and like biphobia is a thing. So like I feel it's they feel closer to one than the other. Like I have seen bisexuals who feel closer to queer culture, but them being bi, if they are immersed in queer culture and gay culture and all of that, it tends to be more of their identity than it is for the ones who are not. So I think the conversation goes like, I guess the more immersed you are with queer culture, the more it becomes a part of your identity as a whole. I think I'm wording that correctly. Okay, I have to go sleep, but I think that was a pretty good, I enjoyed that. It was a good 2 hours, and maybe soon I will get like well I ordered like one of those portable XLR things. So I'll figure out how I'll have to ask Maribel about the how she did the like the IRL stream, and what I'll do is I'll set up somewhere and I'll put the camera to show you guys a view of something, and then I will sit and just talk. No. I don't think I'm gonna show face on this channel. You guys will see like the view. Like I'll set up the camera to look at something. Yeah. I'll sit like behind the camera so you guys can't see, but you guys will see like at least you have something to look at. But I don't know if I can do music with that or how I would play music. I'll have to ask how she did that. Or if I need two separate devices, like one to stream from and then um one to play music from, so I can at least listen to music while I talk. But I want to be able to play music for you guys, so I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, but I appreciate everyone for sticking around tonight. And um if there's any questions, I've got like I'll give you guys a few minutes to ask any questions if there's any questions about anything I've said today that you guys want to ask or clarify, and then we'll do like a 5 minute answering question segment because I've just kind of yapped about whatever the fuck I want to yap about. It could literally be anything. I don't care. Stupid questions, fun questions. Kyle, not you coming in like last minute. Kyle, you missed some very deep conversations. This is my little 2 hour podcast segment. We got no questions, no one. We all good. We're all just saying good night. Good night, Will. Yeah, my own little talk to it was we had a lot of conversations today. Weirdly, this was like a lot easier to just kind of like talk than I thought it would be. So, you have a question? Okay. Go ahead. Fire away. You've got 5 minutes. Why do I look like that? Why do I look like what? Okay. Well, anyways, genetics. Um, any other questions? Good ones. None. Okay. So, thank you for everybody for tuning in for my own little gay talk to no, for my I don't know what to call this. I think I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's the that's the episode number 1 done. I don't know when we'll do a second one or if next time we'll have a guest, but if there's any VOD watchers, thank you guys. I'll be doing these and I'll do like an announcement maybe a day before, or I'll do it like or it'll be like an impromptu one like this. But anyways, thank you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. If you haven't already, !socials to follow me on Twitter to see when I go live. What else? !throne to the crowdfunding stuff is the only shit that's on there right now. Just because I have to change the address and everything and get that all set up. And then, yeah, I think that's it for now. And then we'll have a hi, Mikey Funasty. Hello, hello, hello. I'm literally just about to end. But yeah, I think that was pretty fun. That was actually a very fun podcast. Kind of 2 hour. So yeah. You guys can always watch the VOD. We talked about relationships. We did a little bit of self-reflection. We talked about mainly it was like relationships on Twitch, in person, being queer, being gay. No league. I gotta go to sleep. I have class at 8 in the morning and it's 2 a.m. So hope you guys, everybody sleeps well, has a nice evening. And yeah, exclamation point socials. Follow me on Twitter, exclamation point throne, to buy me shit. And yeah, we'll finish the song and then I'll end because. A sandwich. Good night, Porciana. That's crazy. Violence is not condoned in my chat. Released a little while. Wrote the plans we made. The internet's gone wild. Watching on trial. Turning Roe v. Wade. I'm missing again. 'Cause that's what happens when you fall in love. Leave them all behind. Tell yourself it's fine, just in love. Along with anyone. The problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. This song is long as fuck. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Baby, I'm the problem. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will see everybody 100% Tuesday night. So not tomorrow, but the day after. Good night, good night.